Section 2. The Management Framework of New Structural County Economic Development Strategy. In the first lecture of this topic, I introduced why the new Structural County Economic Development Strategy was proposed, and the second part will systematically explains the framework of the new Structural County Economic Development Strategy Management Framework. This part is further divided into the following three. First, situation of the Chinese county, factor endowments. Second, the county's development strategy, comparative advantage analysis. Third, the county's tactical measures based on GIFF design. If you take a look at the map of China, you'll see that China is composed of a series of grassroots counties. The county, the name of which has been used ever since the spring and autumn period, serves as an administrative division in China. The implementation of the county system adopted after Qin Shi Huang, first emperor of Qin, unified China in 221 BC, was the beginning of the formal establishment of the county system. There are over 2,800 counties in mainland China. The county, serving as a critical link to connect the upper and lower administrative units, is one of the fundamentals that sustain the development of the economy, safeguard the people's livelihood, maintain social stability, and promote the country's long-term safety and peace. Our forefathers once said that as long as the counties are governed properly, the entire country shall be in peace. For more than 2 millenniums, counties have been the basic unit of China's national structure and remained constant to this day. Therefore, how to study the county development strategy showcases the basic skill of governments at all levels, especially county governments. Former Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping once said that the county is the largest tactical unit as well as the smallest strategic unit. As also underscored by the General Secretary Xi Jinping's speech, leading cadres at all levels must not only have tactical measures, but also equip themselves with strategic thinking and become strategists in various positions. Different counties have different resources and endowments. It is necessary for those leading cadres to take investigation and research as their basic skills. Go deep into the grassroots and among the masses. Seek the reality, understand the situation, and solicit the opinions of the people before making a plan or a decision. At present, China's economic development has entered a new normal where in order to maintain sustained and healthy economic and social development, we must change the development mode and adjust the economic structure. Steadfastly implement innovation-driven development strategies and promote the simultaneous development of new industrialization, informatization, urbanization, and agricultural modernization. It's of great significance that the work is done well at the county level. But how and what to do? We must use our brains to think deeply and actively push forward the implementation when it comes to determine and implement the work that should be and can be done to deepen the reform. Cadres at the county level should not wait or hesitate. Instead, they should stick to the problem-oriented and take the initiative to act. For starters, let me introduce the diagnosis of county endowments, which are mainly divided into 7 parts. Development stage, location characteristics, natural resources, human resources, material resources, technical resources, and industrial foundation. First, the development stage. The development stage of the county economy is in a comprehensive state, which shows a concentrated reflection of the endowments of many factors. It is also the result of past development and the starting point for future development. Therefore, the development stages are the most important and the most critical to follow in the county's development strategy. Hence the significance of the judgment of the developmental stage. Given the basic theory of new structural economics, economic development is a continuous process of structural changes. The development stage is not something binary that can be simply divided into a developed one or an undeveloped one, especially the development stage at the county level, consisting some 2,800 counties in China, which is a continuous lineage distribution that varies greatly from low developed level to high. As two comprehensive indicators of the development stage, GDP per capita and GDP are key indicators that characterize the development level and economic volume of the development stage. For the convenience of operation, we can use the relative value and absolute value of these two general comprehensive indicators to judge the characteristics of the development stage of a county. Please notice that this assessment standard is of strong experimentalism, so it is also a standard that may require proper adjustment when needed. For simplicity of discussion, we may as well choose the province where the county is located and the whole country as the reference system, and calculate the ratio of the GDP per capita of the county and the province or the country in comparison. For example, we can divide Chinese counties into three categories. The county with a proportion of GDP per capita less than 80% is classified as a county at low-level development stage, denoted as L. The county is generally traditional, resource-dependent, or a typical agricultural one. When a county's proportion of GDP per capita is between 80% and 120%, it's at the intermediate level of development stage, denoted as M. The county is both resource-dependent and technology-dependent, and is generally in the catch-up phase. And then, for a county that has the proportion of GDP per capita greater than 120%, it is considered to be in a high-level development stage, denoted as H. The county is relatively at the leading position. At the same time, the GDP of counties can be similarly classified. Those with GDP of less than 100 billion yuan are small economies and denoted as S. Those with GDP between 100 billion yuan and 300 billion yuan are classified as medium-sized economies, denoted as M. Large economies are the ones with a total GDP of more than 300 billion yuan, denominated as B. In this way, 9 different types of location strategies can be formed according to the above classifications of GDP per capita and GDP as shown in Table 1. Of course, due to different empirical standards and different types of subdivisions, we can further adjust and subdivide more types of development stage types and analyze their corresponding development strategies. However, in this analysis, The above 9 different types of development stage characteristics are sufficient to clarify the differences in the development strategies of different counties. With these significant differences in development stages, our understanding of the differences in the positioning of our development strategies will also become crystal clear. By incorporating the dimensional characteristics of other subdivided endowment structures that will be discussed next, we will gain a deeper understanding of the rich content of the development strategy framework. Second, location characteristics. The location characteristics of a county are also important endowments, which exert a crucial impact on the spatial positioning and structure of development strategies. The location characteristics include the linkage between the location of a county and other areas outside, and its internal spatial structure. As we all know, China has a vast territory with large differences in the location distribution among various counties. From the point of view of a county's connection with the outside world, a very simple but the most important indicator is its proximity to the central city. Counties located in megacities such as Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen have completely different location characteristics from counties in remote areas. Similarly, the characteristics of counties located around different provincial capitals and regional central cities also vary. In terms of the radiating effect and siphon effect and market potential received by the county, various external location characteristics are also quite different. For example, counties located near central cities such as Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Nanjing in the Yangtze River Delta, those around central cities like Shenzhen and Guangzhou in the Pearl River Delta, and those around Beijing and Tianjin, they all receive a strong radiating effect of the central city due to the intense connectivity of the infrastructure and frequent communication. They possess the convenience of exploiting the higher level resources of the central cities to which they belong, while facing the siphon effect at the same time. Another example is that some counties that are far away from big cities but have large economies and relatively high development levels, compared to its surrounding areas, is considered to be a small regional center in their own regions, which can produce radiating effect and siphon effect to the region it's located. A typical example will be Hotan in southern Xinjiang. Another example is some border counties, the location characteristics of which is, of course, a unique port of entry position. In addition to this, coast position is also very important, which can influence its development strategy of opening to the outside world. Locations around significant transportation routes and hubs are also important location features. Counties along the high-speed rail, inland navigation and shipping, and aviation hubs have more comparative advantages in external communication, such as Lingang, port-centered economic zone, that has emerged in recent years. In short, the location characteristics of a county have an important impact on its external regional integration strategy. Third, natural resources. The conditions and characteristics of natural resources not only directly determine the type of natural resource intensive industries in a county, but also have an important impact on other non-resource-based industries. Just like the diversity of nature, the specific dimensions of the structure of natural resources are also diverse, which makes them difficult to exhaust one by one, and they are quite stable. Therefore, if no administrative division adjustment is made, the natural resources on the county's territory will remain stable. The distribution of natural resource endowments in China also presents a huge diversity. China is located in the eastern part of Eurasia, on the west coast of the Pacific Ocean. It has a unique geographical location, complex topography, and diverse climate types. In terms of topography, China's terrains are high in the west and low in the east, and there are 3 zones with obvious elevation differences from west to east. The terrains are diverse, with mountains, plateaus, basins, plains, and hills, all distributed across the nation. There are high mountains widely spreading in the west, with plateaus and basins. The eastern region is flat and low altitude, dominated by hills and plains. In terms of climate, China is affected both by its landforms and monsoon circulation. It has tropical, subtropical, and temperate monsoon climates, as well as temperate continental, alpine, and maritime climates. From the southeast coast to the northwest inland, the spatial differentiation of precipitation and heat conditions is obvious. The Qinghai Tibet Plateau has an alpine climate with insufficient heat. The east of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau has a continental monsoon climate with rain and heat together over the same period. The north of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, however, has an arid climate with sparse rainfall. In terms of vegetation, China is rich in vegetation types, including forests, shrubs, grasslands, meadows, deserts, and marshes. The forest coverage rate is low, mainly distributed in the south and northeast. And the grassland is in the north and on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau. China's sea area is vast, spanning tropical, subtropical, and temperate zones, and its mainland coastline measures approximately 18,000 kilometers. There are many types of marine resources, rich in marine life, oil and gas, solid minerals, renewable energy, and other resources with great development potential. At the county level, according to the types of natural resources that each resource-based industry depends on, it can be roughly divided into 3 categories. Land resources, cultivated land, forestry, and fishery, needed by agriculture, plantation, forestry, and fishery. Mineral resources needed by mining industry, and tourism resources essential for tourism, natural scenery plus cultural and historic sites.